Hello and welcome to Free Spirit Yoga. My name is Hera. Today's class is entitled Restful Sleep. And this class comes with a warning. A lot of people who do this class end up sleeping so well that they don't hear their alarm clock, or if they're used to waking up without an alarm clock, they'll sleep through the morning. It's a really great class for people who have a lot of trouble sleeping. So sometimes we have trouble getting into bed and disconnecting from our thoughts, quieting down our mind, and falling into sleep. Even when we get into sleep, we find that our sleep is like so jagged. It's not smooth. We have all these dreams. And sometimes, even if we do sleep, we wake up very easily from any sounds. And then in the morning, when we wake up, we find that we're not rested. So this is why this class is designed to give you that restful sleep that you need. Yin Yoga is very much based on traditional Chinese medicine. They believe that in our body we have energy meridians that run through, and when it's balanced, we are balanced. And when there is imbalance in these meridians, this is when we suffer from dis-ease. So sleep is very much related to our heart meridian. Our heart meridian starts at the heart, exits at the armpit, moves along the arm this way and into the little finger. So we'll be working with our upper body today and stimulating this part of our arm. When this heart meridian is balanced, we feel connected, we feel settled, we feel emotionally stable. There's a sense of peace. However, when it's imbalanced, this is when we feel overwhelmed. We feel all over the place. We feel that we can't calm our thoughts down. And this is why we have trouble falling asleep, staying asleep, or waking up rested. We're going to start off with some acupressure points. So acupressure also works with the energy meridians and is very similar to acupuncture if you've ever tried that, but we don't use needles, we use pressure. So there are certain points on these meridians that stimulate the meridians, allow to clear the blockages there so that the energy flows through it clearly. We'll be working with the acupressure point called Heart 7, Shenmen. So if you see that there's a crease here, especially when you bend your palm like this, there's a crease right here. And then there's a tendon that protrudes right here, connected to the little finger. So on the side that's closest to the thumb, there is an indentation. This is the point where we're going to press. And when we can press with the pad of the thumb. We'll press right here, and we can press on and off. So we can press, release, in a way that is not painful, but there's a little bit of pressure. We can also take circular movements, or we can have continued pressure. Okay, so any one of these works. We'll do it on the other side as well. So the same thing, the crease, there's a tendon right here. There's an indentation closer to the side of the thumb. With our thumb pad, we can press right here, okay? And if you have trouble sleeping, this point might be a little bit tender. So work with it slowly. Start gently, and then increase pressure as needed. This is a great acupressure point to use right before you sleep. If you wake up in the middle of the night and you have insomnia, try this. And just breathe through it. You can do right and left sides. And release. We'll do some breath work before we start with our poses. It's called Vishama Vritti, which means unequal or uneven breath. So we'll take 4 counts for the inhalation, 2 counts holding, and then 6 counts to exhale. Now, if you're not used to breathing, and you might find this a little bit cumbersome or a little bit too much for you to hold or to extend this much, do what you can. The idea is to have shorter inhalation compared to the longer exhalation. All right? So let's get started. So I invite you to sit in a comfortable seated position. You can either sit cross-legged, you can sit on a block or a blanket if you need to. If you'd like, you can close your eyes or soften your gaze. You can look at the tip of your nose, placing your hands facing down onto your knees and extending your spine straight, allowing for ease of breath in your chest. Taking a couple of breaths, noticing the state of your breath right now. And we'll take a cleansing breath, breathing in and breathing out. And now breathe in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 1, 2, and exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale for 4, hold, and exhale for 6. Now continue at your own pace. If this suited you, continue as is. If you're used to working with your breath, then you can deepen. You can do a longer inhale, longer hold, and a longer exhale. Last round. Release your breath. And with your eyes closed, I invite you to place an intention for today's class. Could be around sleep. I sleep deeply. I am rested when I wake up. I am at peace. Or can use your own words. And now let go of your intention, knowing that we'll come back to it at the end of the class. And slowly open up your eyes, adjusting to the lighting in the room. We'll take our first pose together, which is a wide knees child's pose. So come onto your heels, take your knees slightly apart. You want to hinge from the waist, keeping your hips on your heels, slowly lower down. Extend your arms out. And I want to prop my little finger onto the floor, and you can interlace your finger if you want, or just place the insides of the palm together. Dropping your forehead onto the floor. Connecting with your breath. And relaxing your muscles. Bringing some softness into your fingers. And with my forehead on a flat surface, this signals to my nervous system that I am safe, that it's safe for me to relax. Feeling a sense of surrender in child's pose. Feeling my major joints compressed, my ankles, my knees, my hips. And on my next inhale, I'll start to lift up my upper body, moving slowly, deliberately. Imagine stacking up vertebra over vertebra. And then finally placing my head on top of my spine. Taking a few breaths here as I feel the effect of the pose on my body. My next pose is quarter dog or puppy pose. So coming onto my hands and knees, I'm going to place my hands right below my shoulders and my knees right below my hips. This is called tabletop. And from here, I'm going to extend my left hand out and bend at my right elbow and lower myself down. I want to keep my hips over my knees, and then I drop my forehead either onto my forearm or directly onto the floor. Feeling a gentle bend in my lower back, and feeling a nice opening on the inside of my arms, extending from my armpits. And although my left hand is extended, I drop my forearm onto the floor, my elbow onto the floor, sinking my chest towards the ground. And checking in with my breath, making sure that I'm not holding on to my breath. Making sure my fingers are soft, that I'm not introducing tension into my body. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling, I'm going to start to draw my left hand towards me, place it on the floor, and lift myself up back into tabletop. And I'll take a couple of cat-cows here. My hands are below my shoulders. I'm going to round my back, tuck my tailbone and tuck my chin, and then reverse, dropping my belly, sending my tailbone up to the sky, sending my chin up, and stretching through the front of my neck. Let's do one more time each. And now repeating on the other side. So extending my right hand out, bending my left arm at the elbow, and either dropping your forehead onto your forearm or directly onto the floor. Find the rhythm for your breath that suits you. Make sure that your fingers are soft. One of the biggest challenges of Yin Yoga is to remain in stillness. Our mind tries to convince us that we need to attend to an itch or that we need to move, that we've had enough. But know that physically your body is able to stay still. And on your next inhale, start to draw your right hand towards you and come back up into tabletop. And let's take a couple of cat-cows again, rounding your back, tuck your tailbone, tuck your chin, and reverse. Sometimes there's a place that you feel that needs a little bit more attention. Coming back to neutral. And let's come back into a seated position. Our next pose is called half dragonfly. So if you have a block, we can use that. If not, you can use a thick book. I'm going to place it on my side. I'm going to keep my right leg bent, extend my left. I'll drop my left forearm onto the block. Then I'll bring my right hand above my head. We want to go up and over. Rather than collapsing to the side, I'm extending up and over. Making sure that my chest is on a flat plane. I'm not leaning back or leaning forward. Trying to keep my right arm parallel with my ear. And once again, introducing some softness to my fingers. If your fingers start to tingle, you can drop your hand onto your head. You can close your eyes and enjoy the stretch into the right side body, radiating up into the armpit and into the arm where our heart meridian runs, with the intention of opening up any blockages and allowing the energy to flow through, bringing balance to our emotional states, bringing a sense of connectedness, of stability. And on my next inhale, I'm going to drop my right hand and frame my left knee with both hands, lowering down, dropping your head down. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, start to lift up, drawing your hands towards you. And we place our feet onto the floor and drop our knees from side to side. This is called windshield wipers. And again, you can go at your own pace. If you need to stay longer on one side, if it feels good to go a little bit slower, feel free to do so. And now repeating half dragonfly on the other side. So bending my left knee, extending my right leg out. I'm going to take my block and place it on my right side, bringing my right forearm onto this block, softening my fingers, softening my toes. And now extending up and over with my left arm, making sure that I'm not collapsing into my right side. Breathing into my side body. Dropping my hand onto my head if I start to feel any tingling in my fingers. On my next breath, I'm going to drop my left hand to the floor. I can move the block away from me. And then frame my knee with both hands, facing my chest towards the knee and lowering down. Dropping your head. And don't worry how deep you get, as long as you're starting to feel a stretch. Each one feels the stretch differently. I feel it on the back of the legs. I feel it in my glutes, moving up into my lower back. And I also feel it in my left hip, going into my side body. There's a stretch in my arm. And as I lower my head down, I get a stretch in the back of my neck as well. Taking one more breath. Drawing your hands towards you, lifting yourself up. And once again, placing your feet onto the floor and dropping your knees from side to side. Our next pose is called butterfly. So bringing the soles of your feet together, I'm going to take my hands and walk it beneath my calves, beneath my shins. And if I can, prop my hand on my little fingers once again, and I can clasp my toes if I like, and then drop my head down. If this shape is not available to you, if bounded butterfly is not available to you, you can simply place your hands on your feet and lower down as much as you like till you feel a stretch. And if you're quite tight in your inner thighs, you can take a couple of blocks and place them beneath your knees or beneath your thighs, whatever works for you. and explore the different sensations in your body. Feeling the stretch on the inner thigh. Feeling the stretch in the hips and the groin area. Feeling the stretch from the lower back all the way to the upper back and into the neck. And there are many different ways of stimulating the meridians. The way I'm doing it right now is placing a little bit of pressure on my forearms and on my little finger by placing my arms beneath my calves. Slowing my breath down, slowing my thoughts, inhale and exhale. Inhale, move slowly, first by releasing your hands if they are underneath your shins, and then by lifting up. And if you had any blocks beneath your legs, just remove the blocks for now. Placing your hands on your feet, and let's flutter our butterfly wings. Our next pose is called rainbow. So if you have a bolster, we're going to be working with a bolster today. If you don't have a bolster, you can use a couple of pillows, maybe a thick blanket that you can roll up. So what I want to do is first off start by coming onto my left side. I'll place the bolster right behind my left hip. I'm going to start to lower down. So dropping my upper body onto the bolster, I want it right by my waist. Extend my left arm out, drop my head onto my left arm, and then I can extend my top leg or extend both legs if I want. Now bringing my right hand over to meet the left. So in rainbow, what we feel is a stretch along our side body. So you probably feel a stretch from your little toe moving up to your thighs and your waist. Feeling the stretch into the ribs And imagine the rib cage being stretched out, creating space between the ribs. And feeling the stretch into our armpits and into our arms. My right palm is on top of the left. I make sure that I'm not tensing up in my fingers, and that I continue to breathe. You can imagine breathing in between the ribs, in that spaciousness that I have created between the ribs. My toes are soft, and I sink into the bolster, letting go of any holding on. Sometimes our body tends to feel like it needs to hold on. And on your next inhale, take your right hand and place it right in front of your face. Push up into a seated position, drawing your left hand towards your body. We always move mindfully, slowly. And as I sit here and rebound, I feel the difference between my right side and my left side. Moving over onto the other side. So swing your legs to the other side. Set up your bolster right by your right hip, coming onto your right side. Extend your legs out. Drop your right arm onto the floor, your head onto your upper arm, and then allow your left hand to meet the right. Remembering that this side might feel a little bit different than the first. So if you have a tight shoulder on the left side, for example, and this is not available to you, you can always place your hand on the bolster or on your thigh. This is one of the beautiful things about Yin Yoga. It's customizable. It takes into consideration that everybody is different. And on my next breath, I'm going to place my left hand in front of my face, push myself up, take a few breaths here. So for my next pose, I'm going to do waterfall. I'll place the bolster on my left side. We'll use it for our next pose. Lying down on your back, bending your knees with your feet onto the floor. I'm going to lift up my knees and then send my feet up into the air. My knees don't have to be straight. There can be a gentle bend here. My toes are neither flexing nor pointing. They're completely relaxed. I can place my knees touching one another. My feet are touching one another. And in this pose, in waterfall, you'll feel the blood rushing from your lower extremities all the way up into your upper body, to your heart and to your brain, nourishing your heart, giving it a bit of break from pumping so hard. You'll find that very quickly your toes will start to feel a little bit numb and that your legs will start to tremble. Just a few more breaths. Now bending your knees, keeping your feet off the floor for a few moments. Just going to feel the blood rushing back into my toes, feeling all tingly. And from here, I'm going to go into a twist. So I have my bolster on my left side. I'm going to drop my knees all the way to the left until I arrive onto the bolster, extending my arms to the side in a T shape, palms facing up. And I can look straight out above me to the ceiling or tilt my head slightly to the right. A couple of things to keep in mind in twist. If my fingers start to tingle or if I feel like electricity running through it, just drop your hands a little bit closer to your body until that sensation ceases. Most Yin Yoga classes end with a twist. It's a wonderful way to massage all your internal organs, compressing them, and then once you come out of the pose, allowing the blood to rush into those organs, rejuvenating them, replenishing them. Also, we're twisting our spine. So I'm twisting my spine from the bottom of the spine all the way to my neck. And you can imagine the spine as a wet towel, and we are wringing this towel out of all the toxins and allowing these toxins to go into the bloodstream. So it's very important after class to keep hydrated, to expel these toxins from our bodies. Twists are very relaxing as well. Scanning your body, looking for those spots that are still holding on to tension, and inviting your body to soften. On your next inhale, come back with your gaze to center. Draw your hands towards your body. Engage your core and lift up your knees and place your feet onto the floor once again. You can adjust your hips, and you can remain in stillness, or you can swing your knees from side to side. And now repeating on the other side. So taking your bolster and placing it onto the right side this time. I'm going to bend my knees, lift up my feet off of the ground, and send my feet up into waterfall. A gentle bend in my knees, and my toes are soft. I can even wiggle my toes. And now bend your knees. Feel that tingling sensation in your toes. Keeping your toes off the floor for a few moments. And now dropping your knees over to the right side onto the bolster. Expand your arms to the side, palms facing up, and then taking your gaze straight above you or slightly towards the left. Checking in with your fingers and making sure that there's no numbness. Final breath. Releasing the twist, looking up above you, bringing your hands back towards your belly, and dropping your feet onto the floor. You can adjust your hips. You can stay here in stillness, or gently rock your knees from side to side. And now preparing yourself for final relaxation or Shavasana. You can take the bolster and place it beneath your knees, draping your legs on top of the bolster. You can place your hands on your belly or expand them to the side, palms facing up. You want to be sure that your body's in alignment, so adjust your hips and adjust your shoulders. And in final relaxation, we consciously relax each and every muscle in our body. So starting with our toes, wiggling our toes, moving up into our ankles, our calves, relax, our knees, our thigh muscles, release, our hips and our glutes, unclench and soften. Taking a deep breath in, softening your belly. Taking another deep breath in and feeling it in your chest. Moving your awareness up into your shoulders, relaxing your shoulders. Arms are heavy. Fingers are curled inwards in softness. Moving up with your awareness to your neck and to your face. And you can draw a soft smile onto your face, relaxing the muscles, melting tension away. And now bringing some gentle movement into your fingers. You can wiggle your toes, introducing some gentle movement into your body, waking it up. Now, if you plan to go straight to bed, you can drift off to sleep. Just remove the bolster from beneath your knees. If not, you can roll over onto your right side, rolling the bolster away from you. Taking a couple of breaths here as you lie on your side. And recall the intention that you placed at the beginning of the class. Maybe repeating it to yourself internally 3 times. And now very gently lifting yourself up into a seated position, keeping your eyes closed just for the last few moments, or softening your gaze. Placing your palms together right in front of your heart. And let's take 3 closing breaths together, crossing your hands in front of your chest, taking a deep breath in, sending your hands above your head, palms together, and exhale, bringing it down back to your heart. Again, crossing your hands in front of your chest, breathe in, sending your hands all the way up, palms together, exhale, dropping your hands right in front of your heart. Last time. And exhale. Gently opening up your eyes. Thank you for attending today's class with me. I hope you have a wonderful, restful sleep.